Well, exactly. I mean,
given the limitations of the participants. Oh, we're there.
Exactly. Yeah. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whether you might be in the world. Shortly, I'm expecting lights to come on here, and then we shall give away a gold cube when I've launched everything here. But anyway, I can't do that without the rest of it on. Brucey straight in with, which is probably the saddest, pretty sad thing.
United should be hanging their head in shame too, shouldn't they, at the moment? United Airlines, they're having the bulk of problems at the moment.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Some say it's brave, some say it's cowardly, isn't it, to end your own life? But that Boeing inspector certainly thrust.
Did he though, or did he just? I mean, in the same way that people fall out of third floor windows in Russia. If you cross people with lots of money and power, you can look at that guy. Who was the guy that was the pedophile person that was in prison and committed suicide? I wonder. I think there's a lot more skullduggery goes on than we are led to believe. You don't cross people like that.
It is a bit odd timing that it was just after the criminal investigation started. So it would be interesting to know what went on there. You know, presumably if they've decided it was an accident, they must have enough evidence. You would hope there's CCTV nearby or something that's, you know, given them what's happened.
You mean like the CCTV in the Epstein case? Just happened to conveniently be down.
Yes.
MTV saying used to be afraid of flying on an Airbus, and now it's Boeing that's a gamble. There are quite a few tourist flight booking websites that give you the choice of airliners that you can, you select that you'd like to use for your holiday flight, and they have moved Airbus up above Boeing, and because they've noticed people were scrolling down to try and find them. So it's pretty easy. I mean, will we see the collapse of Boeing in our time?
No, too big to fail. Too big to fail. Too many government contracts. Yeah,
I suppose, but I mean, it's a pretty poor show, and they're not answering the FAA very well at the minute. Well, they're just not. They're not doing well all around.
Well, the Department of Justice has got involved now, haven't they? It's going to be a criminal thing, and because the FAA, I don't think it takes criminal actions, but the DOJ is going to wade in. But the FAA, I mean, I'm doing a video later today, which is the FAA's taken its eye off the ball. They're focused on making sure that these things, your public's protected from these things, and the nation is safe from these things, while airliners are falling apart in the air all over the place. Recruit people from your drone team to go and help sort this major problems we've got out. Don't just say, oh, no, we can't do anything.
All those youngsters that have grown up building and flying model aircraft that then go on to university and skill themselves up with grown-up engineering skills, but based very solidly on the good start that they had. You mean all those youngsters that they're not going to have in the next 10 years?
Exactly, and it's not even as if it's about safety, because under the remote ID rules, a professional running under Part 107 can't use one of these, because now you can get them with HD video and everything. If he wants to say, for example, fly over people, this would be the perfect thing to do it if he needs to. But no, he'll have to get a waiver and use something like this, because this is legal and safe, and this wouldn't be. I mean, seriously, these people are so out of touch with reality. They don't understand the effects of the regulations that they're passing. They are just clowns, and this is why we have these problems in passenger travel at the moment, because these people are clowns. They're not held responsible for the decisions they make, and it makes me quite cross actually when they'll destroy a hobby in the name of looking after their rich mates, but they won't look after passenger safety.
Yeah, it's very sad, isn't it? It's the fact that the chap, if but horrible as it is to say, perhaps he did take his own life because of the pressure of it all. Just imagine the immense pressure he must have been under if he's one of the only people blowing the whistle.
Did you see the Al Jazeera video? You see the video from Al Jazeera where they were in the plant talking? It was a hidden camera thing. They were talking to workers in the plant saying, "Would you fly on a Boeing?" And 8 out of 10 of them said no, we wouldn't.
It's worth adding though, that's quite an old video, so it's been resurfaced, but it's from a while.
But I mean, it's a long-standing problem then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, What a weird time. Hello there, Robert, and I hope you're well. My power are going to come on very shortly, and we're going to give away another gold cube, and hopefully the power will come on. So I'm tired. Is it hot around by you, Bruce? I see you've got a jump around a shirt on.
No, summer's over, mate. She's all into the teens now, not the 20s even.
No, we were. Oh, there we go. Right, let's turn this on, and this is a bit where I'll get.
It must be the second day.
Yes, that's right. Yes, morning has bang. Yes, sun rises fast in Africa, you know.
I was thinking in a biblical sense, and on the second day.
Oh, I see. Oh,
it was light.
No, biblical. I haven't been to the library for ages. No, it's been super hot here today. So hot that the sport was cancelled at school. It was one doesn't play rugby when it's 35. You know.
You mean sunburn isn't a sport?
No. It's super hot. Let's switch this on. So whilst I'm rattling through trying to connect all this stuff, what have we seen that has interested us this week?
Laser beams and drones. How cool was that?
Yeah. And I know somebody who could have gone to that.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? I bet you they'll get millions of dollars in funding, and all the Russians have to do is put a mirror on their, or the foes have to do is put a mirror on their drone, and it shoots back at you.
Disco balls. Oh, yep. Come on. Someone needs to make a flying disco ball to that end. Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course, and rain and fog and that sort of stuff. That you know, you can't fly a drone in fog, even with GPS, and you know, so you're safe from drones until it's fine, and then you can use your laser.
The thing that was funny about that was the fact that they were showing, look at that laser, how effective it is against drones. Here we have a DJI Phantom, the drone that's always brought out for anything. And not only that, we have nailed it down to a table. So if we're attacked by DJI Phantoms, nailed down to tables, we're solid.
Actually, yes. I'm surprised because one of the best things I've seen is the directed energy weapon is actually just microwaves. Just get your microwave oven, open the door, override the lockout switch, point it at the drone, and it falls out of the sky. You know, 600 watts or 2.4 gigs will fry your electronics at quite a good range. So all you need is a parabolic dish. Get a satellite dish, put your magnetron at the focal point, and use that. Anyone could build a drone destroying directed energy device in an afternoon for $100.
Bruce, why aren't you doing this? That's your counter UAS.
Here he goes again. Here he goes again. Yeah.
I could be making millions. Just like if I put a pulse jet on a model, I could make millions.
On an A10 model, maybe.
Yeah, on a model of an A10, put a pulse jet. In total, I think someone said they've had $9 million of funding from the government.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, in some ways, good for them. But yeah, we'll reinvent much. It's, madness. Right, I was trying to get these things going. I thought the other madness thing that I saw this week was the fiber optic flown drone. And I'm not the only person that thinks, why do they think they're flying it with it? Why might they not be laying a fiber optic cable?
I thought that too. But then I thought, why would you strap several kilos of ordnance to a drone that was simply supposed to spool out a fiber optic cable? Surely you wouldn't put the ordnance on it. You'd just have the fiber.
True. Yeah, true. Was the ordnance there as well? I
it had a RPG underneath. So, but I wonder if it wasn't staged, actually. I wonder if it wasn't all just a big stage thing. Because the fact the RPG was held on with duct tape was a bit of a giveaway.
And 10 kilometers of, I know the TOW missiles, and SMTVs. Same, but they were saying 10 kilometers of fiber optic cable. How much? I know it's effectively featherweight, but how much would that sag over 10 kilometers?
Well, it doesn't matter if it sags because you just, as long as it's not pulling the drone down, because you're not going to go back over the path and tangle up, are you? So, yeah.
Well, I can't see the point. So there was no trees for 10 kilometers or whatever. Oh, yeah,
it wouldn't matter if you flew over a tree though, because it's just going to be behind you, isn't it? It's still spooling out. It's not like you're going to turn around and do circles and turns.
Just snag you and pull you down.
Why would it pull you down? Because you're spooling out. It's all spooling out as you go. So it just sits on the tree. It's fixed at the other end, so it's not snagging. The cable isn't actually moving. It's only the drone that's moving.
Yes. Yeah, all right. I'll give you that.
Physics.
Physics. I was good at physics. You couldn't believe it, would you? Right, let's get ourselves a Wheel of Fortune sort of thing. Because I can't.
Is gambling allowed? Are we allowed to gamble on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool.
The revenue, mind you.
Oh.
really, really well. Really well. It'll make a huge. It's a great countermeasure idea, says Cool Cat. Sometimes the fact that it's possible at all. Yeah, true.
Well, countermeasures against that fiber optic cable are really simple. A pair of scissors. That's it. Disconnect it.
Well, there's another business opportunity. I see it coming up. Yes, absolutely.
Anti-drone scissors, $5,000 a pair.
Exactly. And as long as you could as long as you had several blades and a couple of sort of zigzags on the side of one of the blades to do various tasks. The drone scissors, yes.
Our operators are standing by. Order now and get a free microwave oven.
Absolutely. And Ian, what are you? Well, I'm finding a wheel picker and all these things. Where are you in the world of investigations and anything new happen?
I've chilled out a little bit this week because obviously quite a lot went on last week. Although I have gone back to the Department for Transport because there were some emails that I was particularly interested in seeing a while ago. This happened at the time when the Department for Transport said they were going to block me as being vexuous, which turns out you legally can't do that. A person can't be vexuous. A request can be. So that was my first experience with the Information Commission, where I think it went very jolly and well and nice, because they fully sided with me and said, you just can't do that. But after that had gone on, I thought, well, I'm going to leave it for a while anyway, just because it had all been a big drama and it took several months to get through that. But then I forgot there's some interesting emails. There is actually another drone photo that happened on the 21st. Let me see where that is, because it might ring a bell with you, Gary, of thinking, oh, I know that. Because often when I name a location, you go, oh, I know that. So
well, Bruce will have to put it up because I'm still
just lazy.
I can read it out for you anyway. It was just it's Horse Hill in Surrey.
Oh yeah.
So there's a let's I'll put it in the chat and then you can have a nose at the same time.
Oh, here we go. Wheels all the way down here. Like that.
So anyway, I'll talk about the time. So I've asked. There were a number of emails, and these came about because there's obviously the conspiracy theory with Gatwick of, was it a cyber incident? No, I don't think it was, with all the evidence I've seen today, because you would have to just blag everybody and waste everybody's time for just to have this going on. And I just kind of think that if you were doing a cyber attacky thing and it was a cover story, you'd let a few people in on it, and it's good. While you might want to let the police think that and so on, Department for Transport and that, and your big wigs at the top, you'd think they'd be let in on it. It wouldn't be wouldn't be given the runaround. So I don't think there's anything to it, but it's still important, I think, where there's any evidence to pursue it and have a look. So because the little thing that was niggly on this was in the hours before the Gatwick incident, the very same staff that were then tasked with looking after the incident were involved on an email chain called DFT and Aviation Cybersecurity potential discussion point. So it was just interesting that in the hours before they were discussing aviation cybersecurity. So I thought, well, let's have a look at that email. So that's been requested. They were kind of funny about this at the time as well, because I said, well, I want to know, was there anything to this, cybersecurity thing? And they wouldn't kind of just tell me straight. They said, oh, what keywords do you want us to search for?
Nope. Let me just get rid of this one.
We've got 2 Garys now. We've got an echo.
I'll power off this one.
Duplicate Gary.
Temporal anomaly there.
From different universes.
Do you want me just to kick you off, Gary? Just kick yourself off.
Well, it's not shutting down. There we are.
Here you go. There's now.
So,
We've got the top of your head.
Well, it's under the desk. It has. There.
Right. Okay. So now
There we are.
oh, we've still got all the Gary on there on the left, haven't we? Oh, it's gone.
There.
Right. Okay. So now we're down to 1 Gary. I'm sure there must be people that just watch this show to see the.
How inept I am.
Yeah, it's kind of like to drone shows what GB uses to those kind of hiccups that go on live on air. So,
Is there such a thing as being ipped?
I'm definitely missing it. Look, I've got it's this side. Look, I've actually got this on. Hello there.
It's got the uniform on. Where's my top?
Got the uniform on and everything.
Yeah, where's ours? Gee, we don't even pay for this. At least we could get some swag.
There's this is limited edition. There's only 2 in the world.
Oh, and you're wearing both of them today
at the same time. Exactly. Yes. There we go. Right, we're here now.
To get back onto this, so there was there was a number. I felt there being some evidence about whether there was or wasn't a cyber incident. So when I asked, they wanted to pick the words. So they were just searching for the word cyber. And I went, whoa, wait a minute. It could be crash, software. I came up with a whole bunch of stuff, that may well have been used if you were talking about a cyber incident. So in the end, they gave me a list of emails. So there's about, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 50 emails that potentially were cyber related. So I've just picked out a bunch. So there's obviously this one that happened on the day, which is particularly interesting. But then on actually it's 23rd, there's Horse Hill drone photos as an email. So I want to see that because obviously that's right at the end of the, we know they kind of wrapped up and went home. I suspect this is possibly that drone that was found that, we can't really say much about it because they haven't really told us much about it. So, there was one was found, and then there was the RAF email that kind of hints that they were going to take. Someone was talking about taking credit and saying, "Ooh, I think we've been brilliant. We've taken this drone down when they hadn't." And there was kind of a warning: you better not do that because if you get caught out, you'll have egg on your face, kind of thing. And then I've just tried to get. There's it's only because of some of the more recent emails. There was just one that kind of caught my eye because I think it's because it seems to be this transport security division of the DFT that seem to have actually known everything that's been going on and have been trying to keep themselves out of the freedom of information, or where they've kind of been drawn into it, making sure that the getting on the redactions and whatever. But there's one called right at the end, 24th, update drone incident at London Gatwick, and I just want to see that because I think it's kind of a wrap up. I've been very focused on what happened in the early days of trying to put the timeline together of that, but I'd like to see how this wrapped up at the end. I think that's actually where you probably find your most interesting information. So that's what I'm going for now. Obviously, in the past, the DFT have been quite difficult, but having had that experience with the tribunal, anyone that will be difficult this year, it's bring it on. I'm ready. I'm ready for the fight this year. So this year, I'm going to be particularly on top of anyone that's giving me a hard time. I'm going to give as good as I get. So yeah, I'm almost thinking, come on, bring it. If you want to be trouble, I'm ready for it. So we'll see. I'm hoping they'll just be nice because the previous couple have been dealt with. Although they've been quite a long time being dealt with, they come across as though they've been dealt with sincerity. So we shall see. So that's really the main one at the minute. I do want to go back to the Ministry of Defence because I noticed when I was going through the ICO complaints, and it's really weird actually. A couple of months ago, out of the blue, the MOD were getting in touch with me, going, "Do you still want an answer to this? Do you still want an answer to this?" And I thought, this is very weird, because they've tried not to answer me. I've caught them out. They're absolutely lying. They basically said that there is no recorded information, and there wasn't at the time at Gatwick, because everything was it was going that fast and everything was done verbally, and that's not true. There's actual documents. Every organization was doing their own daily sort of overview. I forget what the specific name for the document. So the MOD had their own as well. So they plain lied, which isn't, it's not a good look. But
apparently,
yes, I know.
According to Gemini, sorry, sorry, after you, Ian. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
I'll let you go in a minute. So yes, with the MOD, it turns out that what has actually happened is the ICO have been giving the MOD a kick up the backside, saying you're not answering stuff. So that's the only reason why they're getting in touch. They're putting on the active, we're trying to sort ourselves out. So I'll use the opportunity as well now to ask the questions that need answering, and then at least the ICO's eyes already on what's going on now with the MOD. So if they do try and be difficult, which I suspect they will, at least it might things have escalated. It might move on a little bit faster. So that's sort of the coming months is DFT, MOD, and try and just wrap this Gatwick thing up with, with what we can to just say, well, we've covered the final loose ends, and then just leave the information out there in the public domain. And if someone wants to do something with it in future, they can do.
I'm glad you said loose ends, because that was a very popular BBC Radio 4 program, comedy program, and it wasn't on that one, but it managed to make its way into BBC Radio 4 this week, just as a joke, I think it was Stop the Week. I can't remember what that one's called now, but
it was on the news quiz. I think we should actually play it on here in a minute, actually.
You find it, I'll play it. Now, I really liked the idea of Cool Cats, Rock, Paper, Scissors, and Gemini, because what's a bloke to do these days but not get his business ideas from a chat? And I see already we've got RPS system for drone defense, and it doesn't think that it's going to work. Rock, paper, scissors. So that's a little bit disappointing. But there we are. But it's interesting. It comes up, look, multi-layered drone defense. It's pulled straight out. It's all the world's press releases, isn't it? Central hub detection layer, disruption layer, interception layer. It's quite interesting that it comes up with this from a nonsense quote. But there we are. Right. Should we do it? Let's stop. Share this tab instead.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a little bit of breaking news while I've been chatting. Kevin with the DJI data is going to have a look through it to see if he can match up any of the DJI data to Gatwick Airport for the infamous period, to see if there's anything recorded.
Will that come within the time that he's able to get to it? My word, he's found some data. I should dare to do it. But let's pick ourselves. Let's pick ourselves for Clifffield. I think Cliff's right. He's talking about us. He's absolutely sorry, Cliff. You're absolutely right. Right, let's do it. Let's go. And the winner, it'll be number 14. Now I'm not going to show you my list. Let me stop sharing this. For winning a gold cube. Don't be Ian. Don't be Ian. Don't be Ian.
I win again.
You win again. Is Toby Kellner from Germany. Toby Kellner from Germany. You have won a gold cube. And that will be, I'll get the Cube Pilot guys will sort that out and get to you as soon as possible. Make a note of it, Gary. Make a note of it. Done it before. I've had to replay the video. Right, there we are. So congratulations. Toby has seen an image of Philip Wonka on SES News, and he's clicked that image and entered to win. So he is this month's winner. Now, what's in the private chat? Let's go here. Okay, this is right. Let's share this, present this. Will this play at the right place when I go?
Should do. It's just a video upload with the audio. You'll need to
there we are.
So set it back and then.
Zoe and Marie,
can you hear that?
Things that have
it needs to be a bit louder.
We heard a couple of weeks ago that a Trident missile test went plop in the Atlantic. But how did a clever lateral thinking RAF drone trial squadron avoid any similar failures?
I actually really enjoyed it. The UK Defence Journal, very serious publication, covered this, and their headline was "New Drone Trial Squadron has no drones." So yeah, that'll be a problem. Like that's the issue right there. And I'm no expert, but I feel like that is a problem.
Well, yes and no. It's a problem that we don't have any that have been tested, but equally none of the tests have gone wrong. Yeah. So, cardboard cutout drones is what I'm suggesting as well. Do we have them? Don't we have them?
Wasn't there a story a couple of years ago that Gatwick Airport was closed for about 4 days because there was a drone, and then there wasn't even a drone? The drone itself had been a rumor that had somehow spread, and they closed the airport. If they can harness the hypnotic ability to make you think there is a drone out there somewhere, you can just dispense with the drones entirely.
So basically you're saying we can replace Trident with Derren Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
So there we are. Did you hear that okay?
It was a little bit quiet, but could hear it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's quite a thing. It's made power shortages. Yes, Cliff, that would be nice. It's quite a thing, though, that it's popping up in popular culture in the UK as that, isn't it? It's quite a thing.
Yeah, it just shows chipping away at the narrative has worked, at least with the people that pay attention to the news. They will have seen Samira's piece, which was the Guardian one, which was particularly important, as well as little bits that are getting into the news now and then that have, further underlining the fact. So yeah, obviously it's been local news up here in Yorkshire with the Telegraph and Argus catching the fact of the National Police Air Service, because they're part of West Yorkshire Police, and the fact they didn't see a drone. And the National Police Air Service were trying not to throw Sussex Police under the bus. We're trying to make little excuses, but funnily enough, little excuses that we already know don't hold up, saying like, oh, well, occasionally the helicopter got redeployed, but we know when the helicopter got redeployed, they sent another one out. So for the first few days, they did keep blanket coverage, and it's those few days that matter. So, yeah, but it's good to, be able to put the little bits out there. And there's potentially another journalist that might be doing a piece shortly. So I think for this year, it's just, whatever we can is just chip away a little bit in it, a little bit more. And hopefully we'll see more of that popular culture. But there are quite a few journalists now and comedians that do make jokes specifically about this. So it is nice that the trying to pull the wool over our eyes collectively in the UK. It's not washing.
Yeah, and I'm quite looking forward to Just Stop Oil have said that they're going to target airfields this summer. And yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want an accident to happen, but you can imagine the chaos they'll cause just by saying that. And it's going to live test an awful lot of systems.
But we run the risk that regulators will say, oh, we just make tougher regulations on drones, because why not?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be interested to see. I mean, they haven't actually said they will use drones, although there was a court case at the end of last year. I can't remember whether that was Just Stop Oil or it might have been what's the other one? Extinction.
Oh, Extinction Rebellion.
Oh, yeah, that's what. Yeah. No, so it might have been them that was in court last time, but I think there's quite a bit of merging between these few groups. It's quite interesting actually, because I found Extinction Rebellion near Heathrow started following my Twitter account fairly recently. So I did think, are they up to something in the coming months? So it may well be that they've thought about it. I mean, they will be aware that with drones, they're going to find themselves in bother. But then again, they're going to find themselves in bother, which is the other tactic they said they're going to do, which is going to cut through the fence get themselves onto the runway, glue themselves to the runway, and
Yikes.
won't they splash the planes with orange paint? So EasyJet will be safe.
Yes.
Yes, you wouldn't know. Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hear their cause and all that sort of thing. But we've oft said it would be very, very easy to disrupt an airfield. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll spoof RID, put traffic up, and then what will happen?
Yeah, we don't have to spoof RID, do you? We're here at UK, be spoof Aeroscope, but there's lots of software out there to do it now for free. I mean, the funny thing is, they could cause more mayhem by not launching a drone, as we know. You know, you balloon LED on it. Just get on the phone and say there is one when there isn't.
Yeah.
They just need to keep that going on, because we know the airports will just default close for half an hour as soon as someone says drone. They just keep doing it, and that'll just prove that what a farce the procedures are. The counter drone systems themselves just don't get trusted. Although what will probably happen in the end is someone will say, right, we've had enough now. We're going to start trusting the counter drone system and be like, finally, you know, it's common sense. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah, it's one would hope at just the very threat. One would hope that major airports are having meetings about what are we going to do, and considering it. And coming up with a good plan and not just sitting on their hands, one would hope. But I don't hope you won't hear that. I'll turn this one down, because I don't know if Kevin's still in the comments, but I'm going to put his video up in a second of what he found in 2017, wasn't it? So did he your breaking news, did he email you and say, I'm going to do this?
Oh, he was just tweeting me while we're on the show, just saying do we know the coordinates? I'm just thinking I've got some specific coordinates just for where there was close to one of the sightings. So I just thought, see if I could dig those out to be a little bit more precise. But because obviously Gatwick Airport itself's not too hard to find, so you'd want a large bit of coverage around it, really, if you're checking for any data there. But I'll just dig out if I've got something specific as well.
I'm going to put a link in the chat for the video that the few words to go with it. In fact, I might even just read them because it's a little bit above my pay grade. But Kevin created a 10-hour slideshow of image data extracted from DJI flights from 2017, and he's currently getting to the point of mapping all sorts of things based on this. And this is a riposte, really, to all the people that say there is no way at all DJI was sending anything back, etc., etc., etc. I don't want to butcher his words, so
not by default.
No, not. Oh, yeah. Well, you can. Well, you can explain that better than me. Please explain that.
Yeah, DJI put a statement out countering the claims that were made by certain people in the US government about them sending data back to China and things. But there was a caveat on the whole thing. There was they said by default. Everything was by default. So that just means basically it's not happening now, but we could do it anytime we wanted to. And that is the big issue, isn't it? How do you prove that they are not going to do that in the future? But I guess my point of view is, does it matter that much? Because there's going to be all these Chinese EVs. You've got Chinese satellites working overhead. How much extra information does a drone actually give you? When you look at those pictures from Maxar with the war in Ukraine, you can almost read the number plates on the cars. It's a drone isn't going to really do that much for you, is it, these days?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it can help pad out the information. This is obviously some images that have been sent to their servers from America, but they're all around the world. The
thing though is, did those users have those? Did they say, I want to upload this to the cloud, and therefore it was sent, or was this done without their consent? This is what we don't know from that, isn't it?
I think it was done without their consent. Let's have a look what his wording says. Flight log ingestion, and also that whole idea of it's one, as he says, it's one spoke in the wheel of DJI Sentinel and Supervisor. That's the thing he uncovered that DJI were unhappy about, was a Sentinel and Supervisor thing. which is just gathering data on people. It's lots of pictures, the same thing. So if you want to have a look at that, let's go. Let's see if we can swing forward to different. Oh, there we are. I think we're in China now, aren't we? There's going to be, there's going to be military equipment. There's going to be all sorts of things hiding in here. And he's geo-referencing these things. He's a clever bloke, very clever bloke. But for those people that are saying DJI have never sent anything anywhere, but they have. They very much have. So that was that. So have a look at the article. It's 10 hours of it. So...
This is interesting, though, isn't it? Because this is obviously Skydio pushing the bandwagon. We want buy USA, et cetera, et cetera. There's people obviously pushing this agenda. And I also wonder, because now they want to ban TikTok. I wonder if YouTube's behind that. Google's got a lot of money. How much influencing is going on in the halls of power to say this TikTok is very bad because we're not getting as many shorts views as they're getting, what do they call them, reels views or whatever. I wonder, there's so much. I mean, we all know that the American government is the best money can buy. And I think we underestimate the effect of that buying power.
Well, and people have accused Kevin of being a Skydio shill, which he's far from it. And he's been involved playing this game for a very, very long time. So I think it's a voice worth listening to. And I've forgotten his... what's his Twitter handle? I've forgotten it, Ian.
There you go. He has no affiliation with Skydio, not even in the industry.
Oh, he's there.
Anymore. Yeah, he's there. He's in the comments.
I was going to say, it's
/
/ with a
/ that's right.
Don't you trigger him, Gary. Once he gets triggered, mate, there's no stopping him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in his way. Well, maybe, Kevin, can I invite you on? Can you speak to this and unpack it better than I can?
I'll never come on, Joe. There's all the Skydios on shelf behind him, and he don't want that.
Yeah, that's right.
He's tidying up quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Green screen.
Green screen. It's it's alarming. You have to say it's alarming.
I've got to say that the person flying the drone in this video is very erratic.
Yeah. But my word, don't they travel? They've racked up some air miles, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kevin's doing some clever stuff. BVLOS, yeah. Doing some clever stuff with this data. So hats off to you, Kevin. Let's hope a few more people start listening.
So where did I haven't followed it very much. Where did this come from? If it's got images from China, how were they intercepted?
I think, although obviously Kevin will be able to clarify, but I think this has gone up with the telemetry data because I think in the logs when you're looking at, and I think this is done to help you actually for the UI, if you do a flight, I think you get a thumbnail next to it that shows you something from the flight so that when you're going through your logs, you can think, that's the one I did at that day at that location. Where if you just had dates and everything was just text, it wouldn't be immediately helpful. So I think
if this footage from China, how did he get hold of it in the USA?
It was a Chinese servers. I think it hopped on. I think the way it happened was there was a GitHub account that DJI had, and developer put their SSH key up there and happened to use the same SSH key on the website, and that just then allowed you.
So he hacked into their servers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a hack if someone's left the key somewhere for you to find.
No,
I
more
don't
than
think that's a hack.
Depends on the
keys to your front door. Yeah, but if you leave the keys to your front door under the mat and someone picks them up and goes into your house and takes all your stuff, that's still a crime.
No, it's not.
I think it depends on the country. I mean, in the UK, it is. If you come onto a website and web page comes up, it shouldn't do, and it's got login, and you put like admin password, and you get in, you've committed a crime just trying it. But I think in the US, I think you've got a bit more freedom about it.
I bet you if it was a US military site you did it to, they'd have a different perspective.
Well, maybe a number of folks found it. Yeah, Kevin, whatever. He's
So he's a white hat hacker.
Yes. I would very much follow Kevin on the LinkedIn's for the laughs now. because people are getting very upset with him. So it's worth following along. So, but I don't think people would have any idea that these images were out there, and they are geotagged. Here we are. What's this? So I cannot do compelled. Oh, that's right. The bug bounty. That's right. You didn't. I forgot that you didn't get the bug bounty from them. That's right. Oh, we should. If only we could tempt him in. But I think, I think there's, of course, there's potential. There are images of power stations in here. There are images of military equipment.
Oh, I saw some New Zealand stuff there. Look at that.
Did you?
Yeah,
did you?
Like New Zealand stuff.
It's going to be you. Let's go back. It's not far, is it? Can we go back a few seconds?
Yeah, there was a.
Was that you? Was that your ute there? Was that you?
No, but I recognised the car.
Yeah, was that one of the cars from the?
Yeah, that looks New Zealandish to me. That looks like New Zealand. Yeah,
that car was
that's
there.
New Zealand. Yeah, that's New Zealand. That's the North Shore of Auckland. Not that house, but that area.
North Shore of Auckland.
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
Somewhere else. Because I recognise the landmarks. That's somewhere in China or something like that.
Yeah, I went back
China.
again.
Looks like one of the rivers in China. Yeah.
It's worth noting the data doesn't go up to the Gatwick incident.
Get on Google Street View, you'll find all those places.
But the interesting thing is with that is DJI would have had the data if someone had been at Gatwick, as we can see here. So they would have had, at very least, the initial images for the takeoff as well as the flight, and the UK police would have had that by now. So the very fact they haven't been,
they haven't got it.
DJI drone there, or at least none other than the police's.
It's there's always these cyclical arguments, isn't there, about, well, I don't mind if someone's got my data of me doing this or that or whatever. But I do think it matters. That looked like New Zealand then as well.
It looked
for a second.
kind of like it.
Yeah.
It does matter, because what I think people are a bit naive about it, because I was equally as naive about it, but you find that, whenever your data is out there, it's not just the police having access. And to be fair, individual police officers can end up acting unprofessionally and accessing data they shouldn't do. But you've also got all the civilian staff, and you do see a lot of news articles about civilian staff accessing, from there's even been cases where witnesses against drug dealers, and all that's on the system, and then someone's actually been helping out a drug dealer by giving them information off the police computer system. Civilian member staff having access to that. So, there can actually be a lot of danger about it. And if you're giving away, locations, as we mentioned before, your geographic location, almost everyone's going to firmware flash the drone at home, and you see you are going to give away your home location, as in your literal home, at some point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I can slow this down, can't I, somehow?
Yeah, just the settings. It's got speed on the settings. Little cog, yep. Playback speed.
Well, it's because we go a bit slower. We're going to hopefully get. Oh no, we're not. I was hoping the images will resolve a bit better.
No, but I mean, they look like thumbnails. Some of them, don't they?
Yeah, but that stack of images then of people that are obviously interested in the DJI craft at some sort of a trade show or some sort of fete or something, wasn't it? You could assemble a set of data about, well, the very fact that that was a phantom there, the very people that were there, and how many photos they appeared, and you could start, making assumptions about all sorts of things out of this.
Yeah,
it's a worry.
But you sign away your privacy as soon as you go online anyway. I mean, look, did you see that thing? You see that thing in America now? Insurance companies are putting up premiums on people's vehicles because the vehicles, the dealers, the manufacturers are selling the telemetry from the vehicle to insurance companies. So if you accelerate hardly and brake hard, your insurance policy goes up. You've got no privacy. You sign it away every time you basically buy something. It's all on the the end user license agreement that you never read.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. you could also deduce the data you could deduce from this is some people take crap photos. There you are. And there's your there could have been a GPS tag on that one, and that's inside someone's house.
Yeah, but I mean, my philosophy is that do I really care? I mean, because what is the benefit to someone, and if they have that information, and could they get it in some other way? And most of the time, there's no benefit to them, and they could get it in plenty of other ways. So you can get all upset about things, but it's not going to change anything.
Well, of course, this one is the. Well, that could be here.
That looks
That's
like
a little bit
Holland.
like.
Look at that. It looks like a
Yeah.
Dutch house.
Well, funnily enough, it does look more Holland than here, but we do get houses like that here.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This could be a good game. Let's. How many places can you identify from the DJI log footage?
Well, it's a geoguessing thing, isn't it? But
It is, isn't
of
it?
course, good
Where
old
in the
Kevin's
world is DJI?
Kevin's been pulling pulling out the pins for this, all the GPS locations. So he is building a map of this, and he's building a map of the Erga sites.
So what was DJI's response to this? What did they say? Oh no, it's just made up, or what? Because
I think they said no. I think they said, "Oh no, we closed all these loopholes. We don't do this anymore." I'm pretty sure that's
by default.
But
obviously, the mechanism is there. The mechanism has been proven to be there, and that's why I think they use the by default thing, because we don't do it anymore. But we could always turn it back on if we needed to. And the fact that they've now encoded aeroscope data leads one to think that maybe they are preparing to turn it back on so that nobody can see what they're doing. So maybe Kevin's right. I hate to say it, but maybe he's right.
I think he is, but I think the obviously this effort and the FCC effort that's going on in America is the big effort now, isn't it? And that would stop all DJI flying, and all your DJI goggles, all your FPV gear, or everything. Boom, finished, no more.
Even the little microphone on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, the wireless microphone, the Mic 2 set, anything that uses RF could be effectively shut down.
Yeah, that's Kevin's answer. And Snapshot Jones saying Air Data collects all this information, but then there's another service that you've paid into, and it's not happening, so you're aware of that service.
The other thing
about the case there?
Also, I think DJ Audits has collected all this stuff. And auditing
must have.
Well, he hasn't got a drone, but all those drone auditors, they'll have this stuff.
And that's but Kevin, don't forget you did create all that evidence with ChatGPT. That's been told recently.
The thing is that's not a valid defense, is it? Because if it was an internal proposal that didn't go anywhere, then how did they get all this data from all around the world? These people didn't consent to be part of this non-existent program, did they?
Yeah. There's more questions than there's answers, aren't there? And we'd have to sit here for 10 hours watching this. Oh, I tell you what, when it goes, that's good. Oh, that was good.
I've seen that video on YouTube. That video.
Have you?
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube. The guy with the airplane in the background.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So it would be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe these are just frames from YouTube videos. Maybe it was a red herring, a straw man that DJI created.
Maybe. Kevin, I have an opinion on that. Surely that's a battery factory there or something, isn't it? Something. A big factory for something.
Well, you can't tell.
But and MTV saying Fed, state, local utilities, police. No, it's certainly my undies drying on the line. I thought you'd been on a diet, Cliff. Or can you still see them from space? Well, there you are. In the classic hands-off shot. It'll be if this new one goes through MTV, it'll be everything finished in Clar. Right, I think we should stop watching this because I could actually watch this.
America could become quite an isolationist country, couldn't it? It could be they're putting sanctions on Russia and everything, but they're putting sanctions on themselves. Eventually, they'll be so isolated. It'll have to be a fully internal economy because we can't do business with other people that might steal our stuff.
Well, there's loads of questions, really, though, isn't it? It's loads of points of view. Fair play to DJI for getting themselves into that position, and more full various lobbies in America for allowing them to get into that position. You can't fault them if that is the game, is to
to be part of a spying operation, you can't fault them for doing it.
America's doing the same. America, they're spying on everyone else. You can't criticize your enemy for doing what you're doing to them, can you?
No, exactly.
I think in truth with this, it is just with the telemetry. I don't think it's in itself it's sinister, but I think it does bring home the fact that people do need to think. Especially where you're using it, security services kind of, if you're in the police or higher up, you do need to the settings you have on your drone and where it's being used. But I always think that there's gross hypocrisy on all of these arguments, because and I know it's Kevin using it, on about DJI in China, about the Muslim population there, but no one says, no one says about the Western countries that are doing the same thing in Iran. There's Axis, I think Swedish company. European, but their gear was in Iran and being used. And although they said, well, we've stopped, I think offering firmware updates or something. It's like, have you actually stopped your cameras being used there? Have you crippled them all so they can't be? Probably not. So it's one of those arguments where if China does something, we go, oh, isn't that evil? And yet if the US or Europe does it, it's like, oh, well, fair play. They're our mates. Oh, it's us doing it. It's fine. And it's like, you've got to, I think if we're going to make issues over this, you've got to do it. You've got to do it to everyone and say,
it's called hypocrisy.
Companies that are in, our territory shouldn't do it either. But I do think there should always be tit for tat for the way things are done. In that, well, what kind of gets me is the UK and the US, but especially like the UK, we're under continual cyber attacks from Russia and China. Well, why aren't we doing it back?
They are.
I'm sure we are.
Secret
services aren't attacking Russian and other sensitive overseas sites.
Yeah, but definitely not like they are. The way where it's literally, because you think the UK companies have been, they're continually attacked for what's it for? Ransomware.
Yeah. That's criminal though. That's not government sponsored, is it?
Yeah, but well,
except from North Korea.
There are hints that some of it is, you see. But they're definitely the government could arrest the people doing these things, and they don't. So if you're doing it in China and you're doing it in Russia, you're free to get away, with the coin. Well, I think if someone in the UK was doing that kind of criminality around the globe, they get collared.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed, because Ukraine was a hotbed of hacking and ransomware, and it still is. They're still active at it.
Yes.
And so why is the world sending them a whole lot of money when they're not actively working hard to suppress that kind of illegal activity?
Well, one of the hackers that was done recently was in the Ukraine, so they must be cooperating now. But yes, it's probably a change in attitude, given
Apparently, what's his name? Kim Jong-il or whatever, the North Korean leader. He does all the hacking himself personally.
Of course he does. The glorious leader. Yeah,
exactly. The glorious leader.
And
he has his own
glorious leader. Does everything. Does absolutely everything. So that's sort of there's the hypocrisy. So that's one part of this story, isn't it? Is the hypocrisy of our government's doing it as well. And then the second part to this, or perhaps the more important part, is that they really did let them steal a march, and Western users have paid. They've bought all these DJI drones, which has paid for the development. The Chinese government, has tipped in quite a bit of extra cash, but we've paid for this if this is what's happening. So it is time to support Skydio and the others a little bit. But I don't agree with as vociferous as they are being to put their foot on the scale.
I think the problem is the way it's used. We know a lot of this stuff against DJI. It's a trade war, and it's the fact that people aren't open about the fact. It's all security. It's like, get away. You just want the coin in your own pocket instead. That's exactly what it's about.
That's what I hate. It's the dishonesty, like, remote IDs for your security and safety. They're bullshitting. It's all commercial pressures driving virtually 99% of this stuff. Just be honest about it. And maybe we'd be more accepting, because we live in a capitalist world where, but when you lie to the people, how can you expect the kind of respect that is necessary to get compliance? You can't.
Where were those horses?
There is a related point, a connected point to this, which has been floated around mainly on LinkedIn, but there's been a white paper about the DJI dongle. Again, it's a lot of it I'm not massively concerned about, because it's the fact that it's just saying things could, might, that kind of thing. There's nothing proven, but behind it there is a very valid point, and it's really it shows, especially in the UK, mistakes where we've made, and the US to a degree, but lesser, is the fact that we've allowed our drone users to just consume Chinese products, that we don't have a proper drone industry ourselves. So if we made the parallel with the computer boom of the 80s, where, especially in the UK, and it would have been true in America as well, you had your own homegrown industry and skill, and people that are in IT now, a lot of them would have gone down that route because they had a home computer. We've not taken any initiative at all. So we're not writing drone software. We're not creating drones all entirely from scratch, generally. And we should be doing. We've allowed, it's this thing. It's like when you see grandparents going, "Oh, your grandkids, they're right smart with computers. They are computer wizards, and all they can do is put a disc in an Xbox." And that's what we consider to be being skilled, and we've done that equivalent with drones. We're saying, "Oh, he's a drone genius," and it's like, no, it can fly a DJI drone. That's all he knows about. That doesn't make you a drone genius. People should understand the software. They should be writing the software, they're coding it, and building the hardware. And we should have been doing that here. And we should have also been doing our own.
Next thing you'll be dissing those African gentlemen who build their own aeroplanes and helicopters out of pieces of wood and chainsaw motors.
Good power to them. That's what I say.
Have you seen those videos? They're hysterical.
Yes. I think someone trying to make turn a motorcycle into a quadcopter without realizing you just can't put enough torque on it to get it to go fast enough, and they're just probably going to take one of the limbs off. But yeah, where I was getting to this was we've jeopardized our own security, because not only is everyone flying the DJI products, but we're investing in our infrastructure of all Aeroscope, and DJI could go overnight, and they could disable essentially our entire counter drone network anyway, because we're building it on technology they control, on protocols that they control, and they can just do a firmware flash and immediately disable it all.
I know that's what Kevin's found. Well, he's found in the app. Sorry. After you, Bruce. After you.
It's a great way to wage your war, isn't it? You start selling other countries' infrastructure components at a very low cost, very affordable. Then you have all the routers, you have all the switching gear, you have everything that controls their infrastructure, and then you invade them by flicking a switch.
Great. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'll always say fair play. If you can do that. Oh, was that Africa? Because we've not seen Africa yet. No, it's not Africa. But I believe, I don't know if Kevin's still here, but I believe they found the exploits in the app that was making the app send images on request of the Chinese end user that needed images of this area. So geolocated bits they asked for. If someone flew there, they send the images. Simples, isn't it?
And the beauty now is with AI, you can analyze all this stuff in the blink of an eye. So what would otherwise be an overwhelming amount of data becomes very easy to refine into things that are of interest.
Yeah, and then that was doing it on the sly. So it wasn't doing it when you had the DJI app open. It was doing it when you were looking at Facebook or something like that. It was Porn, well, in your case, obviously, and your only fans and all that sort of
Hey,
thing.
I got a new phone. You know, people are criticizing me. Oh, you got an old flip phone. I bought a new phone. Look at this. Fantastic.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Is that an Alcatel one?
No, it's MobiWire. I think they're free.
MobiWire. There you go. Yeah.
Bonjour.
It's Alcatel here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your data's going straight to the French then.
Yes, and they'll just surrender because that's what they do.
Oh no! Here comes flipping Cliff with his Space 1999 stuff. Bring it back.
Oh, mine never went into storage, Cliff. What a traitor to the cause, putting us into storage. Mine nearly wore out. The latest
Ian
gone right
actually,
through.
the latest gone right through. No, what are they trying to make? They're trying to make some Chinese letters there, aren't they, or
I
something?
think it's Chinese funny tobacco, if you ask me. Oh.
It's
KS.
Hello World. Ian actually tagged up a much better sci-fi thing that celebrated its anniversary. And now I've gone and forgotten its
Blake
name.
7.
Was it Silent Running?
Silent Running. They're not Blake 7. I couldn't stand Blake 7. That was terrible. Oh, House Moving. Oh dear. I hope that goes well for you, Cliff. Yeah, Silent Running. I love that movie, and it really in my head. Is how I view living here. It's like on a spaceship going out somewhere, and I need two robots to help me along. I love that film.
I wonder if
Watched it
there's
in
any
the
pictures of
70s.
Gatwick in here.
That's what Kevin's going to look for.
Going to look for now. It doesn't go up to 2018, unfortunately, so we won't have that event. But it may well have the Heathrow plastic bag time and stuff like that. So we could actually have a look at some of the incidents back in time and just say, look, there wasn't even a DJI anywhere near there, and you just add to what we already have suspected was the case. In fact, we'd already know that these weren't the case because the police would have already asked DJI for all of these things if they had out, and would have already arrested somebody if they did. But it's just funny now with this data being there, individuals can now do those same kind of checks. Like Kevin go and check the same kind of things the police would have been asked to do at one time.
So if you go through to this, to Kevin's, you can see it on the screen there, Axel Foley, and go through to this video. In the links, there is a description of how to pull this data out for yourself. So as with everything in this world, it's all above my pay grade. But if you're interested,
Gary, because you said something was very wrong, and it is corrected. Before we go further, Blake 7.
All right.
Blake 7's fantastic. The stories are great. So it's just
that's no.
It's got the world's first talking piece of Tupperware. It's fantastic.
Aurak, yeah, my word. Wow, with the doorbell in there, the doorbell in the top of it. Bloody Aurak.
Aurak,
rubbish.
Aurak was just the first version of Sapien.
For those of you that didn't grow up with it in the UK, or it didn't make it to you overseas, wherever you were, don't bother.
It was brilliant in the world, Gary. So if you're watching this, you like your sci-fi. Get Silent Running, find it, watch it.
Yeah, Silent Running. Yeah,
it's more relevant now than it ever was at the time. But yeah, get Blake 7 as well. Treat yourself.
The first on Netflix. Goodness me. Blake 7.
No, is that Silent Running?
No.
It might depend which region you're in with Netflix, because sometimes you'll get it in one country and not another. Because I don't think
this is war.
That's what VPNs are for.
Yeah, Serverland. Well, yeah,
she was quite a hottie, wasn't she?
Yes. She's just passed away, I think, in the last 6 months or so.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah. No,
so
well,
I'm not going to remake Blake 7 then.
That would be the reason why most of us boys were watching Blake 7 at about, was it 7 o'clock on a Thursday or something? Wasn't it around the same time as Tomorrow's World or something like that? I can't remember. Long time ago.
Resident Alien.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
No, I don't know that. Which one?
Yeah.
Alien's a comedy alien show. I've seen the first season. It's quite good.
Yeah, Red Dwarf was good. I like Red Dwarf. Yeah, no, Kevin's got the full grip on this, and he understands it. It's well worth following him On LinkedIn, he does know his stuff, and on Twitter as well. He absolutely does know his onions, and I would trust what he finds. And it's also it smokes out people with vested interests very, very nicely. If you start chucking evidence at them, they really, really, really don't like it. But again, I don't think I agree with the way America's going. Right, I'm just going to keep this running. It's too interesting. I'm going to keep it running in the background. But I'm going to say, is there anything else we've seen that we want to talk about this week while these are flashing through? Bruce pretends to have a big list of talking points. Very good. Oh, yes, here you are. I'll do the same as I'll get out the clipboard.
No.
We covered something earlier. We mentioned it and then didn't talk about it. But I'm just trying to think what, because there has been a few things.
Well, this dementia's spreading, isn't it?
It is. It is. Oh, there we are. The sewage infrastructure, which that might very well be.
It's the Suez Canal, isn't it?
The sewage canal, yes. But it doesn't look like England, where the place where that's very popular.
It looks like an Asian country.
Yeah, but there was a something. There was a something occurring, and I wonder what models of DJI Craft. This was Tokaro's most wanted list yet, Bruce. Was it? No, I think the question is: has he ever been off it? Exactly. Has he ever managed to get off? Yeah, yeah. That's it's a bit weird. These images, aren't they? What were they trying to? What were they trying to obtain with these ones?
Well, just people flying their drones, having fun.
I suppose. All right. So on that revelation, I've shut the window with the winner. Bombshell. I've shut the window, but we've given away another gold cube this evening, so that's fantastic. Keep looking out for Philip. He will be appearing maybe tomorrow, maybe the following day. I mean, who knows? But once you see him, click him. You see, there's not that many people on there. There's only 50 odd people on the list, so there's a very high chance of winning. And next time.
You mean out of the millions that visit SUA every month, only 50 have signed up? That's terrible.
Gary, I think you should put the comment on screen off axis. So we have someone that's been an extra in Resident Alien.
Ooh. No. We don't have long range drones. We have high endurance BVLOS. Remember?
The BVLOS all the way.
High endurance drones. That's what we fly. High endurance. This is my high endurance drone. It's not long range. Always visual line of sight.
Where with it? It is social. It is. There's loads of social information you can gather about people, places, and things.
Yeah, but people put it on YouTube anyway. You just go to YouTube.
They do. It's true.
And TikTok's even worse. In fact, America should be using TikTok to get information on other countries.
Right, like China does. Yeah. I got invited. Have you been invited to the TikTok 1 minute thing today?
No,
I got an email. No, nor do I. I don't either. Nor do I. So it just appeared out of the blue. Dear YouTube creator, are you interested in doing
life's
this?
Too long for shorts.
Exactly. Yes, Veruca. That's right, MTV. Right, we're talking nonsense whilst watching images of China and other places flash by, and someone's ute disappearing into the.
I think there should be a new format to the show. We should leave this looping and then talk about sci-fi shows.
There you go. And extras, what has worked on them. Right, It's time to go. Dear viewer, look after yourself wherever in the world. See you again, 2100 GMT, next GNT. I've got to remember to say it like that.
GNT.
And we'll GNT.
People wave back to me. See that? Yeah.
Did they? I did see them waving. And we'll rustle up some guests for next week. Take care of yourselves wherever you are. Cheers all. Bye-bye for now.